everybody. Welcome to the Fired Up with CJ show. We are back on our last part four of talking to Ilene Smith about her book, Moving Beyond Trauma, the roadmap to healing from your past and living with ease and vitality. So welcome back.
Hi, nice to be back.
I wanted to, I've been talking about my litany of weird physical problems. And yesterday I did a shamanic journey and um, I was told that I had some ancestral healing to do and that a recurrent problem with my ankle, which is like just shooting pain, like when I relax, I feel shooting pain coming from my left ankle down into the ground. And so this is way past, like, it's not even mine. Like, I feel like, which I didn't even realize was possible, but perhaps it is. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this. And how does someone go to resolve these things? Like, this isn't even my stuff. I don't even know how to go about figuring this out, or just, I mean, I just keep on letting the energy release, but thoughts from you.
Well, there is so much of, let's just call it multi-generational trauma. You've heard the term epigenetics. So sometimes we have no idea what needs to be released, right? It's just
Right.
where we are today has it has everything to do with everything from in utero, but in utero, if you think about it, really, a baby in utero is impacted by its mother's nervous system.
Mm.
So you're not just getting your stuff, right? You get stuff from earlier generations, right? And the way your mom's nervous system is set up has everything to do with what she experiences. So I think that some of the things when we kind of walk through our life, right, and there's certain themes and issues and stuff that reoccur, and we don't know if it's from it could be from early childhood, it could be from from past generations. But the thing I think we have to do again is the observation piece, and to just notice what we're experiencing, because if we don't notice where we are and we can't be with where we are, we have no possible way and no chance to heal it.
Hmm.
And so, like, when I start working with clients, this is always the first piece. Right? People come in and all they want to do is why, why. And I have to bring them, and look, I've had clients, it's taken a year to get there, to get them to that what piece, because that what is everything to do with right now and everything that's led up to right now.
Okay, so help me set me through. So pretend I'm a client. I have this ankle issue. What would be the questions that you'd ask? And I can answer probably a lot of them. We'll do a, a, a fictitious session of which I can probably answer
I'm
these
not
quickly.
sure I'd ask any questions other than I might ask you, did you have some sort of accident? Is there, when do you remember when it started bothering you?
Yeah, it was when I walked the Camino. I walked 1,000 miles, and
Maybe
so
did
my
it.
ankle hurt. It started there, and I thought it was something structural that had to do with like one leg being shorter and one toe being longer, and like my body compensating. And I still have it, even though I have all this, like all these things in my feet and my shoes to actually adjust for these things. I have a heel lift so that my leg is, I have all these different things. Still have this problem, which I think is now it's like it's something not structural, or it's
Mhm.
something else. And I've had endless number of massages and cranial sacral and whatever. It's something beyond that.
So can you remember a time when it didn't bother you?
It didn't bother me. Yes, before the Camino, it did not bother me.
So tell me what was going on in your life before the Camino.
I was just living my normal life. It's before my kids left. My kids left, and then I did an empty nest, and then I left at the Camino.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I was living my family life that I'd been lived for 20 years before that.
Right. So can you remember a time when your ankle didn't bother you that felt joyous?
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually enjoyed actually being mother and the family life and the family that we created. So there are many, many positive memories associated with that.
It's interesting because even as you say that, you're starting to smile.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are very many
I
positive
just
memories.
noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, see, and that's how I'd walk through a session. It wouldn't be like, let's try to solve your ankle. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
giving I would walk through and try to resource you. And then at some point we may get into the trauma piece, but it would have to be after we've resourced you and I got you a little bit more into your body and you were beginning to maybe jump into some of the memories of maybe it was a physical experience that you had where your ankle didn't bother you. So that's kind of how I'd work through it with someone.
Okay, so I'd say like, okay, well, I had, when my favorite memory is when my son was born and my ankle didn't hurt then. So
Mhm.
then that would be my resource that I would have. Is that right? Of like a positive
Yeah,
memory.
we might resource you in several different ways, but yes, I mean the basics of it, yes. And
Okay,
then eventually we might get to something deeper about the kids leaving and
right.
something, whatever is underneath it, you making the decision to do the Camino. I mean, all of those pieces might start showing up.
Okay, and then those would be the basis for like figuring out, is it therapy that you do, or is it like,
Traumatic experiencing, which is a therapeutic modality that was developed by Dr. Peter Levine, and he has
uh,
an institute called the Trauma Healing Institute. And so after I completed my master's in mental health counseling, I went and I did the 3-year training.
okay, so actually so you're processing through the trauma associated with like, oh, I'm traumatized because I don't really know where my life is going, let's say, which is true. Like I don't really know, and the COVID's not helping, like what the next juncture of my life is going to be. So could
Yeah,
be
and
that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. So there's a trauma associated with just ending. I
And
don't
there
know.
might be, and there's just some discomfort or something that needs to be released.
Mm.
Um, but what happens is in the verbal story that you're going to share with me, we're going to get to the real story that's in the body.
Oh, okay. So the body has a story. Like I have my own CJ narrative about it, and the body may have a story. So it may be like, well, you abandoned me when blah 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 happened. So I've done like shamanic healing where
Right.
it's been very interesting.
It's different.
Like yeah, like arms are like I abandoned you because you clearly didn't care about me. So I just like checked out. I'm like, what? Like.
Right.
But so the body actually may have like a response to
Yeah,
something that
exactly.
happened. I
Exactly.
get it. Okay, so you kind of try to get a sense of what that response may be as a result of that happening. Oh, that's
Right.
interesting.
And it'll happen organically in the session. And that's usually how it happens. You get
I
into it and
see.
organically, like something will show up.
Right. Of like, oh gosh, now I get it. Like this happened. I didn't, you like knit things together, but you're looking at it from the perspective of like a resource. And then like now with that resource, now how does your body feel? Like you're kind of like
Yeah.
figuring out where the trauma occurred.
Mhm.
I get it. That's really interesting.
That's
So,
fascinating work.
yeah, so when um you work with people and like for my case, I'm like did cranial sacral, did like endless number of massages, chiropractic, and like nothing is working, which was basically what was happening. Is that kind of a sign for like, is that maybe like when people see you, they're like, Eileen, I've tried everything and nothing is working.
Right.
Or how do those modalities fit with the
Well,
work that you're doing?
I think cranial sacral, there's a big tie to it because there's so much of trauma release in cranial sacral.
Hmm.
Um, but this is just another vehicle to try to release whatever's locked in the body. So it works well with cranial sacral a lot. And actually, I know a couple of cranial sacral therapists that have gotten trained in somatic experiencing. So it goes hand in hand.
And how about things like massages or chiropractic, or is that just like not it's like fine, but it's not a modality that makes.
No, it's but any like, and I do touch work in my practice too. Any therapeutic modality where there's touch, I think is valuable.
Okay.
because there's so much of our developmental trauma and that epigenetics and the multi-generational trauma that is locked in the body. So it can't hurt as far as I'm concerned. I think it's all part of the healing.
And if you have one of those things where it's like, I've tried everything, it cannot, then it's like, well, maybe it's something like your body, it's something beyond
Body's
just
not
the
ready to heal
physical.
it. Maybe your body, it's just not ready to get healed.
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes there's that, that we have to surrender to where the body is and not try to fight against it.
Hmm. So it's just matter of time until like stop trying to like crack that,
Mhm.
massage that, just let it do its own thing and
Yeah.
let it heal.
Mhm.
That's interesting. All right, so we have been talking to Eileen Smith, a certified professional coach and somatic experiencer practitioner, talking a little bit more about her work and her book, Moving Beyond Trauma. Thank you so much.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. I would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.